And now it works. Okay. So, all right. We are in Factoring Boot Camp Day 2. Okay. So, we're going to get into the trinomial factoring. So we're going to factor trinomials with binomial factors. It's kind of like unfoiling, okay? You know how you foil when you multiply? Well, we're going to unfoil. We're going to take the trinomial and make it into a binomial times a binomial. Okay? Now on this, the lead coefficient, for the ones we're going to do right now, the lead coefficient is 1. Okay? So, generally, if we have a lead coefficient's 1 here, so it's just x squared plus bx plus c. Now, what I tend to do here is I make this little x. So when I have to introduce factoring, and I didn't introduce factoring to you, you've done it through somebody else, okay? When I have to introduce it, I make this little x, and I say, well, I need two numbers that will multiply to c, whatever this number is, and add to b, whatever this number is. And then I just try to figure out and put them in here and here, whatever that is. That's generally what I do when I'm trying to do these factorings. So let me show you an example. If I have to factor x squared plus x minus 6, I want two numbers that multiply to negative 6 and add to 1. It's 1x here, right? Oh, I'm not showing you what I'm doing here. Okay. All right. And thoughts? Pete?
3 and negative 2.
3 times negative 2 is negative 6. 3 plus negative 2 is 1. If you do that, this only works if the coefficient is 1 out here. You can go straight to your factored. These are binomial. This is a binomial times a binomial. That's what it means up there with binomial factors. Okay? So let me give you a minute or two. You got your books ready? Page 39, numbers 33 and 35. Four terms when you're factoring with grouping. Let's try this one. Let's factor x to the third plus x squared minus 5x minus 5. So when you're grouping, you do the GCF for the first two terms, and then you do the GCF for the second two terms. You do them separately. All right? And then you see, is that GCF common to both of them? And if it is, then we can move on. If it's not, we're not going to be able to factor it this way. Okay? What is the GCF for x cubed and x squared? Mackenzie? X squared. Okay, and then in parentheses we'd have x plus 1. Correct? Now, what about for negative 5x and negative 5? Elena?
Negative 5.
Yeah, let's use negative 5. You could use 5. It is a common factor. But if this term is negative, I'd like for you to use negative there. If that third term is negative. And then I need negative 5 times x and negative 5 times positive 1 to get negative 5 there. All right, when this is the case, when that is the same, in fact, you can go look at the first GCF example we had, or one of the examples we had with that, and it looks something like this, didn't it? And we pull that GCF of x plus 1 out, and then we write down x squared minus 5 here. Okay? Factoring by grouping. All right, page 39, 43, and 47. Let's look at that. All right. Is everybody good with that? All right, 47. Owen.
3x cubed minus 2 times x squared plus 2.
Did I write that down correctly, Owen?
Yes.
Okay. That's what the book has too. So is there a question on that one? Okay. All right. There might be one or two questions. We can take a look at that later if you need. All right. Grouping and we are going to this is the last one I've got here. We're going to factor trinomials by grouping. We're going to use grouping to factor trinomials. You know, before I said 4 terms, that trinomial means 3 terms. There's a way to split up one of the terms so that you'll have 4 terms to use grouping techniques. And you might have a guess and check method or something with factoring this form, and if it works for you, go for it. What I'm going to give you now will lead you directly to getting it factored. No guessing or checking. It just gives you a process that gets you right there, if you can do grouping. Okay? So, when you multiply, when you're looking for numbers, you need to actually take the a times c. Instead of just the c, like I showed you on the x squared plus bx plus c, you need a times c. And when you add, you need the b. Okay? So, that's just a little background. Let's look at an example let's factor 2x squared plus 5x minus 12. All right. I'm going to make my little x here, and I'm going to multiply so I get negative 24. 2 times negative 12, right? I need two numbers that multiply to that, and I need them to add up to 5. What do you think, Ryan? 8 and negative 3. Okay? 8 times negative 3 is negative 24. 8 plus negative 3 is 5. Now, don't do this. This happens a little too much sometimes. Okay? Don't do that. That's not what it's for. Okay? This 8 and negative 3 is the way to split up the 5x into 8x and minus 3x. And then use grouping. So it's 2x squared plus 8x minus 3x minus 12. All right, so everybody know the purpose of these two numbers? To split up that middle term. All right, now we'll use grouping. What do you think? 2x and x plus 4 here. I'll go negative 3 is for negative 3x and negative 12. And I'll go times x, and then negative 3 times negative 4 is positive 12. And I don't want positive 12, I want negative 12. Oops. Okay? Nobody saw that, right? So, now, my GCF is x plus 4. Okay. Now, if you can get this from here to here, if you can go from there to there, you have good guessing techniques or something, that's okay with me. I'm just telling you right here, you do this, as long as you find this and know how to do grouping, you're going to get directly to it. All right? Any questions there? Everybody understands what the 8 and negative 3 are for? Okay. So let me have you try page 39, 49, and 51. $49. I want to share that. Owen.
2x plus 3 times x plus 3.
And good. I think that's right. see, we started with 2x squared plus 9x plus 9. Or did I say that right? Yeah, okay. All right, good. Let's see. Okay, Jordan, did you have 51 answered?
Yeah, 2x plus 3 times 3x minus 5.
So it was 6x squared minus x minus 15, the original. Okie dokie. Then